Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Divyanshi. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
Comfortable?
Yes, sir.
नहीं लग रहे हो?
No, sir. I'm comfortable.
You sitting comfortably?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
इसीलिए मैंने कहा आप कंफर्टेबल नहीं लग रहे हो. क्या बात? परेशान क्यों हो?
Sir, I'm a bit nervous
Why?
because this is my first interview.
So हम तो डेमंस की तरह नहीं लगते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
No, sir.
क्योंकि आप बैठ गए बिना परमिशन के भी, तो फिर आगे कैसे काम करेंगे हम फिर? क्यों इतना नर्वस क्यों हो?
Sir, actually, this is my first interview. That is why.
एवरी डे सभी किसी का एक ना एक दिन पहला होता ही है, तो आप तो इसमें बहुत लकी फील करो कि आप बहुत इतने जल्दी आप जो है पहुंच गए
Yes,
और यहाँ पर अच्छा कर रहे हो. तो शुरू करें इंटरव्यू?
Yes, sir.
चलिए, कुछ अपने बैकग्राउंड के बारे में आप बताओ.
Sir, my name is Divyanshi Singla and I've done my graduation in chemistry honors from Ramjas College, and thereafter I started preparing for civil services, and I like to play table tennis and do Punjabi folk dance, which is Bhangra.
ओके, यू आर फ्रॉम हरियाणा.
Yes, sir.
ये हरियाणा बहुत पैराडॉक्सियल स्टेट है. आपने देखा होगा, अगर गर्ल्स की बात करें, आपका ऑप्शन सोशियोलॉजी है, तो जो सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स है उसमें गर्ल्स को लेकर वहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा खाप की बात होती है, ऑनर किलिंग की बात होती है. वहीं दूसरा अगर स्पोर्ट्स में देखें तो हरियाणा नंबर 1 है. तो दोनों को आप कैसे डिफाइन कर सकते हो?
Sir, I think the reasons for the situation that you said is paradoxical situation are different. The reason for behind the low sex ratio is the patriarchal mindset, and the reason why Haryana is doing well in sports is different, which is before Green Revolution, the participation of people from Haryana was huge in army. And then after from army, they switched to sports. And incentivization of state in sports also helped people excel in sports. And girls were also included and incentivized.
सो ये दोनों बहुत पैराडॉक्सियल सिचुएशन नहीं है?
Yes, sir.
एक तरफ आप पैट्रियार्की कह रहे हो और गर्ल्स का पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है हरियाणा में. कैसे हो रहा है ये? एज अ सोशल साइंटिस्ट आप इसको कैसे देख रहे हो?
Sir, I think I need to study about it.
यू आर नॉट श्योर? कोई भी अपना एक ओपिनियन रखो.
Sir, in my opinion, child sex ratio is low in Haryana. But when a girl is given opportunity, be it in sports or study, then she is encouraged to do well in that field. I feel this is the reason.
आर यू अगेंस्ट पैट्रियार्की?
Yes, sir, very much against.
सो आपके हिसाब से क्या मैट्रियार्की सोसाइटी होनी चाहिए?
Sir, not matriarchal, but the society in which both male and female are given equal rights. That is what
So
should
are you
be the
feminist?
situation. Sir, feminist in the sense that, again, feminist in the sense that women should be at par with the men.
सो फेमिनिज्म की डेफिनेशन क्या हुई?
Sir, feminism, in my opinion, talks about giving equal rights to women and not discriminating with respect to men.
सो अभी आपने कहा कि इक्वल राइट्स टू द वुमेन, लेकिन अगर हम नेचर में देखें तो दोनों अलग अलग हैं. तो बहुत सी चीज़ें हैं जिसमें मेल्स कुछ नहीं कर सकते. ये जो है वो कैसे कहते हैं कि मोनोपोली है वुमेन्स की, तो उसमें आप कैसे डील करोगे?
Sorry, sir.
जैसे बहुत से, जैसे अगर हम बात करें चाइल्ड बेयरिंग की, तो मेल कैन नॉट, हमें मदर को हम सबसे ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं.
Yes, sir. That is the biology, but male can encourage women in the sense that, like for example, we are talking about maternity leave and paternity leave, so that can help.
What percent of GDP is spent on the defense budget?
Sorry, sir. I am not aware of this.
No, okay. This is a very important question. You must prepare for that.
Yes, sir.
No. What is the percentage of women in the armed forces, in the Army, Navy, Air Force?
Sorry, sir. I do not know this.
No? Okay. So I ask you a simple question then. Electronic rupee is being introduced by the government. What advantage does it have over digital rupee, other means of digital transfer of money?
Sir, electronic rupee will help in promoting the goal of government, which is digital India. And sir, electronic rupee will be mediated. I think it will be. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to answer.
Okay. Just one more question I can ask you, simple. To control the inflation, you have the repo rate and the CRR, cash reserve ratio. How does it affect the inflation, and who controls these particular rates?
Sir, RBI controls the repo rate, and to control the inflation, RBI increases the repo rate so that the rate at which bank lends the money also gets increased, and that prevents borrowing and increases deposit rate.
The repo rate is controlled by the Monetary Policy Committee. Who comprises the Monetary Policy Committee?
Sir, in my opinion, Monetary Policy Committee comprises of 12 members, 6 from the RBI and 6 are appointed by central government.
Just divided by 2, 3 plus 3. It is 3 plus 3. Okay.
Okay.
And what is repo rate?
Repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends to banks.
Okay. And cash reserve ratio?
Sir, cash reserve ratio is the amount of cash that banks have to keep with themselves in order to overcome liquidity issues, short-term liquidity issues.
Okay. How does it will affect inflation? How?
Sir, cash reserve, if RBI increases the cash reserve ratio, then banks will have to keep more amount of cash with themselves, and which will lessen the amount which they can lend, and which in turn will increase interest rate, and that will help to increase inflation.
Okay. Recently, some cheetahs were transferred by intercontinent from Africa.
Yes, sir.
What could be the reason for that, and what is the purpose being achieved by that?
Sir, Indian cheetah species have gotten extinct. That is why to promote the breed of cheetah in India, they have been relocated from some African country to India.
Namibia.
Namibia.
Okay. But what is the purpose?
Sir,
ecological balance, or what it is?
Sorry, sir?
Is it for ecological balance, or what it is?
Yes, sir. I think to balance out the food chain and to promote ecological balance as a whole.
Why do you say I think?
Yes, sir. It is because of that only.
Okay.
You said cash reserve ratio is held by banks themselves, or it is held with RBI?
Sir, as far as I can recall, it is held with banks.
Banks themselves? Then what is the statutory liquidity ratio?
Okay,
SLR.
sir, it may be the other way around. I am not able to recall exactly.
Yes. Statutory liquidity ratio is held with the banks.
Okay.
But CRR is held with the RBI.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Anyways, so question for you is, you mentioned about this Bhangra dance and Giddha dance.
Yes, sir.
But you say you practice Bhangra dance.
Yes, sir. I practice both. Majorly Bhangra dance.
I mean, which is, female oriented, I believe, is Giddha.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
But sir, Bhangra is also performed
both
by
male,
females.
female,
Yes, sir.
both can perform
Yes.
that. Right. What are the differences between the two?
Sir, the major difference is Bhangra is performed by both male and female, while Giddha is a feminine form of dance.
It's based on what theme? Like?
Also, sir, Bhangra is very energetic in nature, while Giddha is also energetic, but not that much.
It's based on what theme, these dances?
Sir, traditionally it was originated from harvesting season, due to harvesting season. Now, many other themes have been included, like it is performed on various occasions such as wedding, Bollywood, etc. Earlier, it originated due to harvesting season.
Which is the scriptural origin of most of the Indian classical dances?
Sorry, sir, I do not know.
You have heard of Natya Shastra?
Yes, sir, I have heard, but I am not able to recall.
You are not able to recall? Or, I mean, you heard of Panini? Is Panini associated with dances?
Sir, Panini is associated with grammar
No, he is also associated with dances.
dances.
Natya Shastra, he wrote.
Bharat Muni wrote.
And later on, Bharat Muni wrote Natya Shastra.
Yes, sir.
Natya Shastra. Anyways, so you have to brush up your knowledge about dances because you mentioned it.
Okay, sir.
Right. Classical dances, particularly, you have to brush up entirely. Plus, I find in your DAF this meritorious award for first rank, first position in college.
Yes, sir.
What award was this?
Sir, I got it for topping in first year of my college.
Academic
Yes, sir.
excellence
Yes, sir.
or all-round excellence?
No, sir. Academic excellence. only.
Academic. And district level dance. Do you dance also?
Sir, yes, I like to dance. Actually, I do freestyle dancing.
Like other than your Bhangra?
Yes, sir. I do freestyle dancing, but I had to mention specifically, so I mentioned Bhangra.
Tell us something about South Indian dances.
Sir, I do not know, since I do only freestyle dancing, which
You
is...
have no idea about this Mohiniyattam and...
Yes, sir, I have idea, but I have to read about it.
But you can just name a few
Okay.
South Indian dances.
Bharatnatyam, sir, that you mentioned, then Kathakali, and
Along with the state?
Kathakali belongs to Kerala, ma'am, and then Bharatnatyam, I think, is from Tamil Nadu, and Odishi is one, Kuchipudi, sorry, from Odisha,
Kuchipudi.
Kuchipudi is from
Andhra Pradesh. I need to read about
Oriya.
Oriya is from...
Yeah,
From
Odissi
Odisha.
is from Oriya.
Good. And, this our foreign policy of late has undergone some changes.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of that?
Sir, can you please mention the context?
I mean, in the context that of late, we are going closer to Russia, right? For what reasons are the changes taking place in the context of present international scenario?
Sir, in my opinion, we are not going closer to any country since
Okay.
we still adhere to our non-alignment policy.
Is it?
Yes, sir. But we are dealing with Russia to fulfill our energy security needs.
So it's a temporary thing?
Sir, I think as long as India needs its energy needs, it should deal or engage with Russia.
Did you have a long-standing relationship with Russia in the past also?
Yes, sir. From defense point of view, if we see, we have had very old relations with Russia.
Who is our bigger enemy, China or Pakistan?
Sir, I think China and Pakistan, they are not our enemies, but we have some issues which we need to...
They are not our enemies.
In my
of
opinion,
course not. Huh?
Sir, in my opinion, they are not our enemies, but neighboring countries.
Are they our friends?
Not friends also, but there are some issues which we have to deal with.
Just name a couple of issues we have with Pakistan.
Sir, border dispute, due to which proxy terrorism and other kinds of
What is
terrorism.
the number one issue? Not border issue. Number one issue with Pakistan.
Sir,
you go to any
proxy-
foreign ministry officer, he will tell you. Number one issue with Pakistan.
Sir, proxy terrorism, in my opinion.
Cross-border terrorism.
Cross-border terrorism.
Good.
Okay, so Divyanshi, you are from Kathal.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you stayed in Kathal?
Till my schooling.
And you belong to Sargodha colony.
Yes, ma'am.
Any idea why the name of the colony is Sargodha colony?
Ma'am, Sargodha is the Sargodha comes from two words, which is Sar plus Godha. Sar is saint and Godha is pond. So it is like pond of saint. So
But
that
is it
why-
there in that pond is there in Kaithal?
No, ma'am. Yeah, Kaithal, there are various ponds in Kaithal, but not in that colony.
No, but Sargodha, is it a town or is it a pond in India or somewhere else?
No, ma'am, there is no pond named Sargodha there, but Sargodha is a colony.
So you don't know the genesis of the name Sargodha.
I think, ma'am, it is from Punjab, which is in Pakistan today.
Yeah. So why the name Sargodha colony in Kaithal?
I'm not aware.
Could be some historical reason?
It
What could be?
Sorry, ma'am.
Were there some Pakistani migrants who came after India partition?
Yes, ma'am. There were some Pakistani migrants. That might be due to.
So there was some reclaim of land which was given to people who came from Pakistan. So from Sargodha, who came here, they were settled here, and hence the name Sargodha colony.
Okay, ma'am.
We should brush this since you've been living there for a long time. Secondly, now Divyanshi, you've done chemistry.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you watch Netflix and TV?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes.
Any
I
shows
do.
which you believe are inspired by chemistry?
Ma'am, I cannot recall at this moment, but the last web series that I watched was named Dark. I think somewhat of it is based on chemistry.
Have you heard of Breaking Bad? Have
No,
you heard of
ma'am.
Narcos?
Narcotics, ma'am, it is related
Yeah,
to.
this was Narcos. Okay, this was related to chemistry, how chemical drugs were made, and similar cases were reported from India where chemistry students, university students were doing this business. So you should be aware about this also.
Okay, ma'am, I will
Okay.
do this.
Another thing, you've taken sociology.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you aware with M.N. Srinivasan's name?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the one contribution which you would, consider was his one word? Yes, one very famous word.
Sanskritization.
What
ma'am.
is that?
Ma'am, Sanskritization is the process by which lower caste people convert or choose to adopt the lifestyle of higher caste people in order to do away with the discrimination that they face.
So is it only among the casteist people or is it also among the tribals?
Ma'am, yes, it is among the tribals also. Those groups which are being discriminated, they choose that path.
Or do they go and convert into other religions?
Ma'am, there have been instances of change of religion also, like Islamization and others.
And what?
Maybe Christianization.
Why maybe? What is the entire tribal belt in India getting converted to?
Yes, ma'am, Christianity.
What do you mean by social change?
Ma'am, social change is the process in which social structure undergoes some changes.
What will be the parameters to measure them?
Ma'am, there can be many parameters. Like, for example, some of the institutions can be taken, a role of religion in society, and then institution of marriage, how is it undergoing change, and others.
Do you feel between generations within your family that there is social change?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
give some examples from your own family?
To some extent, I feel that there have been social change, like the instance of intercaste marriage. They have increased. Earlier, there was very rigidity about intra-caste marriage, but now instances of intercaste marriage has increased.
What else? Marriage comes much later. Education of women, birth
Yes,
of
ma'am,
women
education
itself,
of
birth
women.
of girl child itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, over to you.
You are from Haryana. Why
Yes, sir.
Haryana wins so many medals in wrestling and not other sports?
Sir, there is a rural that has a rural background. In Haryana, there are some akhadas in rural areas which gave rise to this wrestling as a particular sport in which Haryana or people from Haryana particularly excel.
Okay. there is a scheme which is going on in the country, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao.
Yes, sir.
So is it successful in Haryana?
Yes, sir. To some extent, it is successful and it is progressing.
Okay, can you highlight one aspect where it is successful? One parameter where it has improved?
Sir, education level of females have increased.
Okay. So suppose you have to suggest 2 changes in the scheme. So what will be those changes? For its betterment, for the betterment of the scheme, you have to suggest 2 changes.
Sir, one can be incentivization of education of girl child. I mean to say monetary benefit can be given. And the other may be, I cannot think
Monetary
of,
benefit to whom?
to girl child.
To the girl child. Do you think the child would be allowed to keep that money, or the parents would take it and keep it for her dowry?
I think, ma'am, the money may be deposited in her account, and after attaining the age of 18, it can be realized for her own benefit.
This is, I think this is being done in the
In Haryana.
in scheme already, but you have to suggest changes.
Sir, at this moment, I'm not able to.
Okay, no problem. There is conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes,
So
sir.
suppose you are like president of Russia, Putin. So when will you stop the war? At what point? What are your goals with the war? When will you say that, okay, now I will stop it?
Sir, if I am made the president of Russia, then I will stop the war, I think right now,
Okay.
because it is causing only harm.
Why? So NATO can come and just bombard Moscow. That's fine.
So all these resources which are wasted till now, they will be of no use.
Sir, I think dialogue and diplomacy will help.
Do you think they did not try for that?
Sir, ma'am, there may be some backdoor diplomacy happening, but at official level, I'm not aware of any channel.
Okay, are you aware about multidimensional poverty index?
Yes, sir.
So is education part of it?
Yes, sir. In my
Is
opinion.
health parameter part of it?
Yes.
So why is health part of like poverty? How you are measuring poverty through health?
Sir, since the name itself suggests that there are multiple dimensions of poverty, only income cannot measure the level of poverty. Health is the basic requirement, which has to do with the overall development of an individual or a family. That is why health has also been included.
Okay, one last question. Like these days, social media is used by youngsters, from children. Everyone is using it,
Yes,
and
sir.
some say that it promotes free speech, while some say that it widens the gap between have and have-nots. So, what do you think? Does it promote free speech or not?
Sir, I think technology is a double-edged sword. So it does offer opportunity of free speech. It promotes the right of free speech. But on the other hand, the use has to be regulated so as to curb the disadvantages.
No. So let's take the example of Twitter. Like, is it promoting free speech or is it not? Is it biased? There is a recent controversy about it.
Yes, sir. Sir, in my opinion, it offers a good platform for everybody to voice their concerns. But there are certain issues which need to be dealt with.
Can you highlight one issue?
Sir, recently there have been issue of political bias or
Okay.
some news which have been taken, some tweets which have been taken down due to some political patronage.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's time for feedback,
Yes.
which is very important for your growth.
First, very conspicuous deficiency in your interview. You start answering something and then you say, sorry, sir, I don't. First, you make an attempt and then you say sorry.
Sir, actually, I'm very underconfident. I think I know the answer, but I'm not able to answer it due
so
to
I'm giving you the
underconfidence.
solution of that. आपको वहाँ क्या करना है? That you have either you know or you do not know, right? So this kind of cliche will not do. So you say, sir, I don't know about it.
Okay,
Then you will feel more confident also.
Okay, sir.
This is one very important thing. Second is a lot of questions you are not answering, and some of them you are answering very, wrongly. So you need to do some brass tacks course. I would advise you. 1 week course, I think sir will be able to help you. She needs an exposure in basics of, brass tacks. So all the basics you please go through, because you have come to interview stage now. And nobody can, accept this thing that you are not able to differentiate between SLR and CRR and such basic things.
Yes, sir.
So you please undergo 1 week course before your interview. That is my strong advice to you. Right. Other than that, I find generally if you can confine yourself to what has been asked and present yourself a little more confidently, I think you can do wonders. This is my feeling, because your DAF is very good. It is exemplary. I mean, it has got your percentage of marks and everything is very impressive. But now you need to present your personality also accordingly. What I'm saying is that. So you need to work really hard for coming 1 week or 10 days. I think then that thing can happen.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And you certainly can get around 180 marks easily.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, in addition to what sir has said, basically you have to really put in a lot of hard work, especially because very simple questions which I asked on the budget or in the women entry in the armed forces and all that, which is very simple, and most of the women officers who join the armed forces are from Haryana, from a neighborhood, right? So you all should be aware of all these things. These are very basic. In the interview you may be asked much more tougher questions, so give yourself a full time to study all these aspects and be prepared.
Okay, sir.
No need to be disappointed. What I'm saying is
No,
that
sir.
don't be disappointed.
otherwise-
It's a plus thing for you. Your DAF is very exemplary.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll say the same thing, that your body language, your composure, you're a calm person, you do not give immediate reactions. They're all to your favor. But definitely you need to brush up knowledge. You need to take up knowledge, not brush up. You have to learn a lot and you have to be confident.
Okay.
And as sir said, your DAF is sufficient enough for you to prepare. Okay. And things like Sanskritization, very common thing, which you have to know and present it nicely in a holistic manner. Like the interviewer doesn't have to provide you with feed, अच्छा आप ट्राइबल पे भी बोल दो, अब इस पे भी बोल दो.
Yes, ma'am.
This is very common. श्रीनिवास छोटी सी किताब है, उसको पढ़ जाओ पूरी तरह से.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that is then. Don't miss the chance. Third attempt पे आप you've come to the interview. Work hard.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Just one suggestion, like read your basic stuff, revise it more, and whenever there's some suggestion asked, think carefully and listen carefully, then you suggest. For example, in the don't give up. You said that I am not able to suggest changes in the scheme, so you have to think clear and concise and then present it. Don't give up on these easy questions. Okay,
लास्ट में ये कहूँगा कि एटीट्यूडल शिफ्ट करो, बहुत बड़ा एटीट्यूडल शिफ्ट की जरूरत है. ये तुम्हारे लिए डू और डाई कंडीशन है, उस तरह से दिखना चाहिए. डू और डाई, वो कहीं से भी फाइट नहीं दिखाई पड़ रही.
Yes, ma'am.
मतलब आपने मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन में ना, जिसे कहते हैं ना कंप्लीट आंसर जो रिक्वायर्ड था, वो आपने दिया ही नहीं. जब हम इंटरवीन कर रहे थे, हम कुछ बोल रहे थे, तब आप उसको पिक कर रहे हो दोबारा. अच्छा, ऐसा लग रहा था कुछ शब्द बचा के कहीं ले जाके इन्वेस्ट करना है. तो ये चीज़, दूसरा का बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ कर रहे हो, दैट इज़ नॉट गुड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल. और मतलब कहीं से भी पूरे इंटरव्यू में आपको ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था कि आप पेस पकड़ रहे हो, या हर समय आप डिफेंसिव थे, हर समय. और बहुत ही मतलब ऐसे आप आंसर दे रहे हो कि जो मतलब हमें हंसने के लिए मजबूर होना पड़ा. तो वो भी था कि जैसे अगर आप रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट बन गए तो तुरंत इमीडिएटली वॉर रोक, तो वो क्यों नहीं रोक रहा है? उसको वॉर रखना, उसको किसी भी कंट्री के जो हेड होता है उसके लिए अपनी जो सॉवरेनिटी होती है, अपना जो राष्ट्र का हित होता है, वो उसके लिए सबसे बड़ा होता है.
Yes.
तो आप चाहे वो सोशलिज्म पे हो, बहुत क्लियर आंसर नहीं दे पा रहे थे. मैं पैराडॉक्स पूछ रहा था, आप वहाँ भी नहीं जवाब दे रहे थे. सो पूरी तरह से आपको एक पैराडाइम शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा अपने एटीट्यूड में. ठीक है, वो आप बार बार ये सोच रहे हो कि आपका फर्स्ट मॉक है, आप थोड़ा सा इसको चेंज कर लो कि आपका लास्ट मॉक है. अब जो इस बीच में चेंज होगा वही तुम्हारी ज़िंदगी है. बस केवल इतना ही चेंज कर लो कि लास्ट मौका है, फर्स्ट नहीं है। फर्स्ट में दिमाग में आ रहा होगा अरे अभी 2-4 मौके और मिल जाएंगे, इसको मान लो ये लास्ट है, अब इसके बाद दोबारा ज़िंदगी में नहीं मौका मिलेगा। जिस दिन तुमने ये शिफ्ट कर लिया उस दिन सब कुछ बहुत आसान हो जाएगा।
You have the potential, you are very
Yeah, you have a
calm,
potential.
composed. So just
बहुत
brush up
potential
your
है,
knowledge.
drive
You
नहीं
already
लगना,
know
बिल्कुल।
all these things. Just
Why should anybody select you? Okay, drive नहीं लग रहा कि okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, all the best.
All the best.